Before we do anything else today, let's do a very simple men's health self-check. In the next 30 seconds, you're going to get a quick snapshot of whether the discomfort you've been calling indigestion sounds more like an ordinary digestive issue, or whether it may fit a heart attack warning pattern that deserves immediate respect. No panic, no complicated language, no guessing. Just honest answers. If you are over 60, this conversation matters more than many men realize. Because one of the most dangerous mistakes older men make is assuming that heart trouble always feels obvious. A lot of men are waiting for the classic movie version. Sudden collapse, crushing pain, hand over the chest. But real life often does not look like that. Sometimes it feels like pressure. Sometimes it feels like fullness. Sometimes it feels like burning in the chest or upper stomach. And because indigestion is common, the heart attack story gets delayed by a more familiar explanation. I'm Dr. James Whitaker, and here is how this works. You are starting with a perfect score of 7 points. I'm going to describe 7 warning patterns. For each one that applies to you, subtract 1 point. At the end, you'll have a clearer sense of whether the symptom story you've been telling yourself sounds too dangerous to keep labeling as just indigestion. And stay with me until the end, because the #1 mistake older men make with heart attack symptoms is focusing only on whether it felt like pain, instead of whether it fit a heart pattern. Let's begin. You start with 7 points. #1. Did the discomfort feel like pressure, squeezing, tightness, or heaviness in the center or left side of the chest, rather than just a simple stomach upset? If yes, subtract 1 point. #2. Did the discomfort spread to your arm, shoulder, back, neck, jaw, teeth, or upper belly? If yes, subtract 1 point. #3. Did it come with shortness of breath, even if the chest discomfort did not seem severe? If yes, subtract 1 point. #4. Did it come with nausea, heartburn, indigestion, or stomach upset that felt unusual for you? If yes, subtract 1 point. #5. Did you break into a cold sweat, feel lightheaded, dizzy, weak, or unusually tired? If yes, subtract 1 point. #6. Did the discomfort last more than a few minutes, come back after going away, or start slowly and build? If yes, subtract 1 point. #7. Have you been telling yourself it was just indigestion because it did not feel dramatic enough to be a heart attack? If yes, subtract your final point. Now, look at your number. If you scored 6 or 7, that is a stronger starting point. You may not be showing many obvious heart attack warning patterns right now, and that is good news. If you scored 4 to 5, your body may be sending mixed signals. That does not automatically mean you are having a heart attack, but it does mean you should stop casually calling the pattern indigestion without thinking more carefully. If you scored 3 or lower, please do not panic, and please do not shut down. Many older men fall into exactly this zone because digestive symptoms and heart symptoms can overlap. The goal today is not fear. It is clarity. But if symptoms are happening now or recently, this is not the time to watch and wait casually. Go ahead and write your score in the comments. I'd also like to know your age, where you're watching from, and what worries you most right now. Is it chest pressure, heartburn, shortness of breath, dizziness, jaw pain? Save your score, because we're coming back to it. Now let me give you 1 minute of simple science. Mayo Clinic says common heart attack symptoms include chest pain that may feel like pressure, tightness, pain, squeezing or aching, pain or discomfort that spreads to the shoulder, arm, back, neck, jaw, teeth, or sometimes the upper belly. It also says symptoms vary. Some people have mild symptoms, others have severe symptoms, some have no symptoms. And if you think you are having a heart attack, get help right away and call emergency services. The American Heart Association says heart attack discomfort can feel like uncomfortable pressure, squeezing, fullness, or pain in the center of the chest. It may last more than a few minutes, or go away and come back. It also says discomfort can show up in one or both arms, the back, neck, jaw, or stomach. Their advice is very clear. Call 911 if you have warning signs. Cleveland Clinic says a heart attack may feel like pressure, squeezing, or heaviness in the chest, and at times can be hard to diagnose because it may also feel like indigestion or heartburn. It also notes that symptoms may not hit all at once, may start gradually, and that some people have what is often called a silent heart attack. The National Institute on Aging says a heart attack is a life-threatening medical emergency and lists warning signs that include crushing chest pain or pressure, pain or tingling in the shoulders, arms, neck, jaw, or back, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, cold sweats, nausea, vomiting, stomach upset, tiredness, weakness, and anxiety. It says if you or someone you know might be having a heart attack, call 911 right away. That is the hidden danger older men run into. They think the real choice is heart pain versus stomach pain. Doctors do not think that way. They think in patterns. So now let's count down the 3 biggest messages your body may be sending when heart attack symptoms are being mistaken for indigestion. We're going from number 3 to number 1, and number 1 is the one older men dismiss the longest. Number 3 is this. Heart attack discomfort does not have to feel like dramatic chest pain. This is where many men lose precious time. A lot of men have been taught one image of a heart attack, and because of that, they reject anything that does not match it. If the feeling is not crushing enough, sharp enough, or dramatic enough, they downgrade it. They call it reflux. They call it gas. They call it a heavy dinner. They call it stress. But Mayo Clinic says heart attack discomfort may feel like pressure, tightness, squeezing, or aching. The American Heart Association says it may feel like uncomfortable pressure, squeezing, fullness, or pain. Cleveland Clinic says it may feel like heaviness and can be mistaken for indigestion or heartburn. Here's how to think about this more clearly. A heart attack does not need to announce itself with theatrical pain. It can feel like pressure sitting in the chest. It can feel like fullness that is not going away. It can feel like burning high in the chest or upper stomach that is off in a way you cannot quite explain. What should you notice? Whether the discomfort feels broader, heavier, tighter, or more unsettling than ordinary indigestion. Whether it seems to live in the chest, upper stomach, or central body, rather than acting like a simple food-related upset. Why does this matter? Because older men often dismiss danger when it arrives in a familiar costume. The most common mistake is saying, "It didn't feel painful enough to be my heart." If you need an easier version of this check, ask yourself one question this week. Did this feel like a normal stomach issue? Or did it feel like pressure my body wanted me to notice? That question can change everything. Number 2 is this. The surrounding symptoms often tell the truth before the chest does. This is where doctors separate real danger from casual reassurance. Indigestion may cause burning, bloating, belching, or discomfort after eating. But heart attack patterns often bring company. Shortness of breath, nausea, dizziness, weakness, pain in the jaw, arm, neck, shoulder, back, or upper belly. Mayo Clinic includes fatigue, nausea, shortness of breath, dizziness, and sweating. Here is how to think about this more clearly. It is not just about the discomfort. It is about the pattern around the discomfort. A man says, "I thought it was indigestion," but then he also admits he was sweating, short of breath, and strangely exhausted. That is no longer a simple stomach story. What should you notice? Whether the symptom comes with breathlessness, cold sweat, dizziness, lightheadedness, fatigue, or discomfort moving into the arm, jaw, neck, back, or shoulder. Those companions matter. Why does this matter? Because the body often gives multiple clues at once, and older men tend to focus only on the one clue they think they can explain away. The most common mistake is using one digestive-sounding symptom to cancel out several heart-warning symptoms. If you need an easier version, remember this. Indigestion usually stays a stomach story. A heart-warning pattern often becomes a whole-body story. And before we move to number 1, if this video is helping you understand your body more clearly, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to American Urologist. It helps me reach more older men who may be quietly misreading dangerous symptoms because they do not look the way they expected. And if you've made it this far, let me know in the comments which symptom makes men say, "It's probably just indigestion," too quickly. Now let's get to number 1. Number 1 is this. Time and recurrence matter more than men think. This is the message older men miss the most. A man feels discomfort. It lasts a few minutes, it eases, then it comes back. Or it starts mildly and builds slowly. Or it shows up with activity like climbing stairs or walking faster than usual. But because it is not one dramatic moment, he delays. He waits to see if it passes. He tries antacids. He sits down. He tells himself he will reassess in an hour. But the American Heart Association says some heart attacks are sudden and intense, while others start slowly with mild pain or discomfort. It says chest discomfort may last more than a few minutes or go away and come back. Cleveland Clinic says symptoms may start gradually and may not all hit at once. That matters because older men often use delay as a diagnostic tool. They think, "If it were serious, I'd know by now." But sometimes persistence, recurrence, or gradual build is exactly the warning. Here is how to think about it more clearly. A symptom does not become safe because it pauses. A symptom does not become harmless because it began mildly. In heart medicine, going away and coming back is not reassurance. What should you notice? Whether the discomfort lasts, returns, builds, or appears with exertion. Whether you keep needing to reinterpret it because the story is not settling down. Why does this matter? Because heart attacks are time-sensitive emergencies. The sooner treatment starts, the more heart muscle can be saved. Mayo Clinic, The American Heart Association and NIA all stress getting emergency help right away if warning signs suggest a heart attack. The most common mistake is thinking, "I'll wait until I'm sure." If you need an easier version, remember this. If discomfort keeps returning, building, or joining other warning signs, do not keep treating uncertainty like proof that it is harmless. Now let me say something very directly. If you think you may be having a heart attack, this is not a mention it at your next appointment situation. This is emergency territory. Mayo Clinic says to call 911 or your local emergency number immediately if you think you are having a heart attack. The American Heart Association says even if you are not sure, get checked out and call 911. NIA says, do not try to drive yourself unless there is absolutely no other option. Now let me give you 3 daily boosters that can help older men think more clearly about heart attack symptoms. First, stop using the word indigestion too quickly. Indigestion is a description, not a diagnosis. If the pattern is unusual, heavier, broader, more physical, or paired with other warning signs, pause before you label it. Second, track the full body pattern, not just the stomach feeling. Chest pressure, shortness of breath, nausea, sweating, fatigue, dizziness, jaw discomfort, arm discomfort, and back discomfort can belong to the same event. Third, respect symptoms that are new, recurring, or out of character for you. Older men often dismiss danger because they already have reflux, already get tired, already get winded, already have aches. But "I felt something similar before" is not proof that this time is harmless. Now, let's close the loop. Think back to your starting score. If you scored low today, do not let that uncertainty fade into the background if symptoms are active, recent, or recurring. Heart attack symptoms are not something to recheck casually in 2 weeks. If the pattern is happening now or happened recently and felt suspicious, get urgent medical help. If you are watching this after a past episode and recognizing yourself in it, let that recognition make you more careful next time, not more dismissive. Today we talked about heart attack symptoms men over 60 mistake for indigestion. We looked at how heart attack discomfort may feel like pressure, fullness, heaviness, burning, or upper stomach discomfort instead of dramatic chest pain. We looked at how the surrounding pattern matters, especially shortness of breath, sweating, nausea, fatigue, dizziness, and pain that spreads to the arm, jaw, neck, back, or shoulder. And we talked about the biggest truth of all. Doctors do not wait for the symptom to become unmistakable before they respect it. This is not about panic. It is about pattern recognition and fast action. When it comes to the heart, false reassurance can be more dangerous than fear. The goal is not to diagnose yourself perfectly. The goal is to recognize when a symptom story has become too dangerous to keep explaining away. Your heart health matters. Your time matters. And when pressure, burning, nausea, or upper stomach discomfort arrives with the wrong pattern, the real question is not whether it felt exactly like a heart attack in a movie. The real question is whether your body is asking for emergency help now. If this video helped you, share it with another man over 60 who needs to hear it. And if you want to keep going, watch the next video on your screen where I'll break down the silent heart attack signs older men overlook because they never felt classic chest pain. I'm Dr. James Whitaker. Stay informed, stay steady, and I'll see you in the next one.